Donald Trump is continuing his public-facing meltdown as evidenced by the absolutely unhinged things he continues to post to his Truth Social account. Now, there's not a lot of people that use Truth Social, so I'm sure there is a ton of Americans that have no idea the types of crazy and deranged things Donald Trump likes to post on a near daily basis. And I think this stuff is important because this dude wants to be president of the United States. And people should be informed with this type of information before they make a decision about voting this November. So let's go ahead and look at the things that Donald Trump is posting to his account. And we can go ahead and kick things off by looking at this very sexist, very disgusting post about Kamala Harris and Hillary Clinton. You'll notice that it says, "Funny how blowjobs impacted both their careers differently." Are you serious, Donald? Are we really playing this game again? Really trying to say that Kamala Harris slept her way to the top? I mean, you guys really need some new material. And how sexist can you be? Implying that Kamala Harris is somehow not qualified and instead she had to use her looks and her body to make it to where she is today? How disgraceful. Could you imagine if somebody tried to say that about Trump? I mean, it would be absolutely absurd. In no way is this type of rhetoric and these types of attacks okay. Against women especially. They've been dealing with this type of crap for far too long. And Donald Trump is just playing into these same tired tropes. I think it's gross. I think it's disgusting. We can go ahead and move on to this post, which ends up being a Q-Anon post. Donald Trump has often flirted with Q-Anon and kind of plays in to their conspiracy theories. This meme says, "Nothing can stop what is coming. Nothing. WWG1, WGA." And so for those of you that don't know, that means where we go one, where we go all. It's kind of a slogan for QAnoners. Like I said, I don't think it's an appropriate thing for a potential president to do as far as playing into these types of conspiracies. QAnon was partly responsible for getting people to the Capitol on January 6th. These are the crazy people that thought somehow JFK was going to come back to life and be Donald Trump's vice president. No joke. Something they said. Well, let's go ahead and move on to the next one. This one's pretty ominous. Let's go ahead and read it. "This is not another 4-year election. Returning power to the people." What exactly is this supposed to mean? We know that Donald Trump has flirted with the idea of serving more than 2 terms, or just simply staying in office, remaining in power. We know this is something that he has said that he wants to do. So is that what he's telling us here? Is that it's not going to be just another 4 years. In fact, I'm going to be staying longer than 4 years. What else am I supposed to take from this post? A couple weeks ago, he was telling people that, if you vote me in this November, you won't ever have to vote again. So is that playing into this here? Again, I think this should be disqualifying for anybody who wants to be the president of the United States. A peaceful transfer of power is one of the core tenets of our democracy. Trump has already tried to disrupt that process before. So it's just quite surprising to me that he's even close to the Oval Office again. But this is what we're dealing with. It's quite insane. Now let's get into some more unhinged stuff. And I think that this stuff is truly unhinged. Go ahead and read this meme. It says, "How to actually fix the system." And you'll notice that it's Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, Nancy Pelosi, Hillary Clinton, Anthony Fauci, Bill Gates, and Kamala Harris. And they're all wearing orange jumpsuits. We already know that Trump wants to get revenge. He wants to get retribution. He wants to go after his political opponents. And this meme that he posted or retruthed only plays to further those types of ambitions. This is another disqualifying thing for somebody who wants to be president. This is not the types of things that we do in America. We do not go after our political opponents just because they're our political opponents. Now, the MAGA contingent of this country will say that Joe Biden has already done that, but they would be wrong. There is no evidence that Joe Biden was any way involved in the multiple Trump indictments or convictions. No evidence whatsoever. And they will not be able to provide you any, because there is none. I think this is absolutely deranged, and this is not something that a potential president of the United States should be posting on his own social media account. I think that this is quite crazy. Let's go ahead and move on to some more unhinged things. This one says, indict the unselect J6 committee. Sedition. If you want to lock them up. This is another revenge and retribution thing. He wants to take anybody that served on the January 6th committee and prosecute them. He wants to lock them up. That is crazy. He's provided no evidence that these people have done anything wrong. He simply does not like the fact that these are the people that held him accountable after he tried to overturn a free and fair election by gathering a mob of people to try to stop the certification on January 6th. These are the people that held him accountable. Therefore, they must be punished if Trump is reelected. That's how simple the math is. That's how simple Trump's brain is. We need to take these threats seriously because Donald Trump continues to say them over and over and over again. So we definitely need to be taking them seriously because, man, I just have a gut feeling if he is reelected that he will start going after his political opponents in a very real way. Let's go ahead to move on to one more here. This is a picture of Trump and Obama, as you can see, and it says, all roads lead to Obama. Retruth if you want public military tribunals. These people are insane. Donald Trump is insane. In what world is it okay for us to be advocating for public military tribunals of ex-presidents, of perceived enemies? This is unacceptable. This is un-American. This is not how things are supposed to operate in the United States. This should be disqualifying for anybody who wants to hold any position of power in our government. I truly believe that. This is unhinged stuff. I can't make it any more clear than that. And it's authoritarian, it's fascist, and we know that Trump wants to carry out these types of plans. So we have to make sure that people are armed with this information before they go vote in November. I don't think this is what most of the American people want. I think there is a small contingent of MAGA supporters that would support this, but they all are a very small portion or segment of this country. So how is the Trump campaign responding to the backlash after these memes were quote-unquote discovered? After people started amplifying them a bit more because they were so crazy, because they were so unhinged? What is the Trump campaign saying to try to combat this backlash? Well, let's go ahead and take a look at that.
the social media content reposted by the Republican nominee in the last 36 hours. How do you explain it? How do you explain why he is reposting content from QAnon and this misogynistic content?
Again, I will say I have not spoken to President Trump about that content this morning, and I don't think Americans are concerned with social media posts. But you said misogynistic. I assume you're also going to say that the posts were demeaning to women. I think what's demeaning to women is what has been allowed to happen over the last 4 years. I think what's demeaning to women is the fact that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden are allowing an invasion of illegal criminals into our country, many of whom have proven to be rapists and murderers. I think what's demeaning to women like Laken Riley and Jocelyn Nungre and Rachel Morin is the fact that they are no longer with us because of the policies of this administration. And that is what voters and your viewers care about, John.
So you'll notice that she did not contend with the substance of the question. He was simply asking, why is he posting this stuff? It's misogynistic, it's sexist. And then she goes off on some tirade about all of the policy failings that is actually degrading to women or whatever. She's not contending with the meat of the issue. Now, of course, this is exactly what she is paid to do. It still doesn't feel any better, though. I wish these people would just own up to the crazy things that they do, the crazy things that they post, and provide at least some rationale as to why a presidential candidate thinks it's okay to post this type of crap. It's just dishonest. And I'm sorry, but I'm an American and I do care about this stuff. She wants to say that the American people don't care about this stuff. Well, I am an American, and hello, I care. I think that this stuff that Donald Trump is posting, not only is it sexist, misogynistic, conspiratorial, but he's laying the groundwork to challenge the election or say that, he was actually the rightful winner. He's playing into all of these negative conspiracies that can, invoke a new January 6th. And I think that is unacceptable coming from anybody who wants to be the next commander-in-chief. So I just thought it was important that we keep an eye on the types of crazy things Donald Trump is posting to his Truth Social account. Like I said, because not many people are on that platform, sometimes it just flies right under the radar, and people have no idea the types of crazy things that Trump is posting. Like that time when he called for the termination of the Constitution. I've seen MAGA supporters at rallies be confronted with that post from Trump, and they've never seen it before in their life. And I think that's a problem. Presidential candidates should not be calling for the termination of our Constitution. That is probably the most un-American thing, or one of the most un-American things that you could do. And it should be disqualifying for anybody seeking to hold that office. So that's going to do it for me on this one, folks. If you got anything out of this video, if you could remember to smash that like button and hit subscribe. Maybe share it with a friend or two. I'd very much appreciate that. If you think I got something wrong, or if you disagree with me about something, feel free to drop a comment below. And if you want to learn about Trump's connections to Project 2025, go ahead and watch that video on the screen now. And I will see you guys on the next one.